Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching today. Today is Thursday, January 27th. And today, I want to talk about separating yourself from the competition. I'm going to go a little bit more in detail about things you can do, but also kind of give you some ideas of that elevator pitch when you're prospecting and things you could tell people that'll stick in their mind. Because sometimes when we're prospecting, people want to get off the phone fast. You might run into someone, you might do door knocking and they're busy. You got to think of something to say to them. It's like less than a minute. What are you going to say that differentiates you or separates you from the competition because there's so many agents out there? So, and then that could change per who are you contacting? Who are you prospecting with? Is it a referral, a friend of a friend? Is it a relative of a relative? Is it a neighbor? Is it a farm area where you sold a house to? Is it a place that you grew up in? You know, a lot of agents start there when they prospect for people in their community and where they live. Say, that's one of the things that I live here or lived here or been here. If you're prospecting people from a certain group, a church group, a school PTA, a school roster of other parents, or if you're in school, your high school, things like that. So the key is that most people that have ever used a realtor before or are looking for homes or just playing around on Zillow and or realtor.com and just seeing what's out there, they're going to see advertisements, they're going to see agents, they're going to see some might be even calling on them. If someone has a listing and or sale in a certain area, they might get a door knock from an agent, they might get a postcard, they might get something. So you have to separate yourself from the competition that shows and why you're better, not just what you can do. Most people know what a realtor does. So if it's a quick 2 minute, 3 minute, quick voicemail message, what makes you different? What makes you different than the competition? And you got to do that too by not putting down the competition. You can't just say, hey, these other agents are bad. I'm just better in general. You can't do that. You got to add specifics. Like an example, I'm just throwing out an idea. If you got someone on the phone, you say, hey, I just wanted to touch base with you. I had a house for sale in your area. We just sold Mr. and Mrs. Jones' house just a couple of days ago. Just want to let the neighborhood know that I'm here for them if you need anything. Your neighbor, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, trusted me to sell their house and wanted me to reach out to their neighborhood and find out if anybody else needs my services. I'm an expert in this area. I just had a sale. I know the market. I know what buyers are out there. So if you ever want information about your house value, about looking in this area or other areas, I'm happy to help you. And your neighborhood real estate expert. So, example, I just threw that off the top of my head, explaining to someone that you're door knocking or calling on in a neighborhood after a sale. You're separating yourself from the competition. You're saying, I had a sale in this area. So if that's important to a possible new buyer and or seller from that area, you're going to knock out a lot of your competition. Because if they interview people, and that's one of the things you could say, that not in a 2 minute question, but there's some kind of a closing thing that you could say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, remember, I'm here for you anytime. But if for some reason you talk to another agent someday or have a friend or relative that's in the business, they might not be as experienced as I am. Might be great, but make sure you always pick an agent that has experience in the sales in this area. So that was off the top of my head. I could definitely have worded that a little bit better, but explaining to them, not putting down your competition, but just explaining what separates you from that. So if they know another agent, they have a friend or relative on the other side of town, they might trust them and know them, but they've never sold something. Example, I would tell any potential prospect in a certain area that I had a sale in, try to explain to them that they definitely, anytime they're looking for a trusted real estate advisor, make sure they're experienced in this area. Of course, I'm not going to make that exact same statement as separating myself from the competition in an area that I haven't had any sales. So you're going to change that up there. So if you're calling on a group of people, maybe I'll just throw out a church group, and they're all over. Well, church groups sometimes are in the same neighborhood or area, but just a group in general that all different parts of the city, east, west side, and you're calling on someone that hasn't you haven't had a sale in that area. Now, you as agents, again, I could go on forever, but I'll try to keep this short. You could use your office numbers. So I'd stress that there are Century 21 Homestar agents in Ohio, Northeast Ohio specifically. Basically every city, every county in Northeast Ohio, we've had sales, and many sales over 23 years of being in business. So can we pull up those numbers in a second for over 23 years? That might be hard because 23 years of different databases and MLS kicks off after a few years. But you can say, myself in our office has sold many homes, and we're very experienced with sales in your city, in your neighborhood. So you could have a new way, a different angle at that. But that's just one idea on there. But the bottom line today, and I keep on going on and on, but this is a specific one-on-one conversation with you and thinking about your marketing and what you're doing. I'm happy to go over that one-on-one in different situations, like who you're going to be marketing to, who you're going to be prospecting, and let's come up with what differentiates yourself, separates yourself, makes you better than the competition when prospecting those specific people. So hopefully you follow me there. But so bottom line, use me as a resource. There's a lot of my day, every day with agents, is brainstorming. How can we do this better? What's a better angle at this? What's the better way to say this or market this or present this? And having that collaboration between myself and you, and how to do that. If you see that in the movies, you see top people in their business fields. Let me just say this, like I'll say Apple. Apple now, not just back in the Steve Jobs era, even when Steve Jobs was there, I could almost guarantee he's not sitting there making all decisions by himself. He's a very smart guy, got Apple to where it was or is, but Steve Jobs probably had trusted advisors or just other people just to brainstorm and come up with ideas and how to market something, how to make something, how to make something better, anything. So you got to do that too with your marketing. Just don't do everything. You don't have to do everything by yourself. So especially our Century 21 Homestar agents, you got myself and Brenda and Debbie and Julia and Carly and Brooke. You have a whole team of people that we could run ideas by each other because we've been helping agents for many years, and just run ideas, and we'll schedule the time for you to come up how you can separate yourself from the competition out there. And guess what? I'll just throw this in there for our Century 21 agents. You have something right off the bat that Century 21 has been around over 50 years. Some companies haven't even been around 10 years. Won't mention their names. Maybe they have three letters in their name. That's just one. Sorry. Haven't even been around 10 years. We've been around over 50 years. We're in every state in 86 other countries. Hundreds of thousands of agents across the world. Guess what? We have no idea how many agents we have. Any global company has no idea. China doesn't send them daily numbers of all of their thousands of offices they have in China. Japan, France, Spain, Jamaica, Mexico. They don't let us know. But the brand recognition is out there. So I'll just say one thing. Going toe-to-toe against a company that's not over 50 years old, doesn't have the brand recognition, and is not in 86 other countries and hundreds of thousands of agents. That's just one thing that differentiates you from your competition, and could put that could be the one thing that sets you and gets you the business over someone else. I see it happen all the time. That's why we as a company have teamed up with Century 21 many years ago, over 15 years ago, because I wanted that separation of competition, that everybody underneath that doesn't have that. And that's an advantage. So again, I'm going to cut it short now. So have a great Thursday. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see